How did Todo regrow his hand and get back Boogie Woogie? I recently talked about this very briefly and why I thought they used RCT to recover his hand by swapping him out with someone like Yuta, but I'm going to go into it further here. Many people were confused why I thought this because you can't heal soul damage unless you understand the outline of your soul, and even then it is significantly slower. And this wasn't just any old soul damage, this was idle transfiguration, which changes the base outline of your soul. So what is going on here? Why do I think this was RCT? How do I think he got his hand back? Let's go into a couple options. The first option is that Mahito blowing up his hand with idle transfiguration actually counted as normal soul damage for some reason when he cut it off, and he was only able to slowly heal it prior to chapter 259, which, to be honest, I don't think this is very likely just given the nature of idle transfiguration and them making the constant distinction between this and regular soul damage. But option 2, which I think is the most likely, is that his hand did get permanently deformed, but only up to a certain point. The breakpoint being shortly or immediately after he chopped off his hand, which would explain why even with RCT, he still has to wear a giant bandage. Idle transfiguration does occur very quickly, but is never shown as instantaneous, not even inside of the domain expansion. If Mahito is able to transfigure a severed body part, it does bring up a lot of questions, like if a severed body part is still part of your soul's outline even if you regrow your entire limb. We don't know for sure, and we don't know what happens when you interrupt idle transfiguration, because idle transfiguration here was intended to blow up his entire body, not just his hand. So the middle ground that he is able to use RCT to recover his hand and it is deformed regardless, I think that's pretty reasonable. I don't think it's too crazy. It would explain the giant bandage. It would explain why he only partially feels his technique because his hand isn't exactly at 100%. Maybe you agree, maybe you disagree, maybe you have your own theory. There is always the chance that he just has a giant Frankenstein hand. Either way, hopefully this better explains my thought process behind this, and as always, thanks for watching.